halfway walking up Mount Oberon, beautiful mountain near an idyllic bay with a white sand beach and gorgeous water.
Sorry, I just can't stop thinking Mount Ober there.
Over yonder. I was walking up that mountain and halfway up I got a message from Tony, my co-director for our film, and he said I really urgently need a video that we shot in Italy and a couple of photos. And so I pulled off the track, and in about 3 minutes, it took nearly no time at all, I found the video,
absurd.
edited it down to the bit Tony wanted, sent him a few photos, edited it to a shared album so I wouldn't have to use a heap of data, blah, blah. It was all done in 3 minutes. It was amazing. And as I finished doing it, I thought our dad, his eyes, Dad's eyes would have popped out of his tiny skull at just the marvel of how
in the future.
we live in the future. Halfway up a mountain in remote Victoria, I edited down a video that I'd shot in Italy a few weeks earlier that's good enough quality to put on television. Sent it to a man who published it to his audience later that afternoon. It's just completely wild.
It's insane. And occasionally I do get all angsty about how technology screws us up, because I'm as susceptible as anyone to internet addiction and Facebook bullshit and all that. And occasionally then I just have to be like, but wait, it's actually freaking amazing what you can do.
So in 3 minutes, I did the thing that Tony had asked me to do, and I went on my merry way. And at the top of the mountain, I just enjoyed this wonderful view. And I also hate it. I just hate it. I hate that I'm still at work.
Yeah.
I hate that I'm still tethered to this phone that we're talking to right now that's amazing and wonderful and technologically allows us to do all these incredible things. And also, it's just a bit shit.
Yeah, maybe it is, but maybe it's not, because so Seth Godin shares this anecdote of where he's at some resort somewhere, and for him it's a normal day, a normal week, and he spends 10 minutes on his laptop sending an email or whatever, and these two other people who he carefully describes, but essentially he's saying they're wage slaves that are on their 1 week off because America's labour laws are ridiculous. Anyway, they're on their 1 week off and they're like, oh my gosh, he's on his holiday and he's doing, and Seth Godin's thinking to himself, no mate, this is every day of my life.
This is just how I live.
I'm at work. And so, well, you may say, oh, it sucks, I'm never able to blah, blah, blah. But Cam, if you go back 80 years, you were sat in a factory 6 days a week, just like doing some menial bullshit. I don't think it's that bad that you spend 3 minutes sending Tony an email.
Cry me a privileged river. But my diamond shoes are too tight. But also,
or did you just make that up?
No, I think it's a Tony Martin actually.
Oh, okay.
A man who's
very
comedic
clever.
genius I will never tire of listening to. But there's a line where you just have to be careful.
Oh, definitely.
Just a little bit careful about when you allow the technology into your life and how you protect your boundaries. And I say that having you and I both had work calls earlier today, which we sandwiched into honestly one of the most idyllic days of the summer. We just had perfect weather, spending quality time with mum and your kids. It was just wonderful. And we got to work.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'm not losing revenue or losing income or making big sacrifices by being here. We've spent a couple of hours on Zoom with some people and then, sweet.
And there's something frustrating about being given something that's a benefit, a measurable benefit, that has a less tangible cost.
Yeah, the less tangible costs you're going to have to be careful of. I agree.
And you can't take them back. And I remember reading in Sapiens, the Yuval Noah Harari book, where agriculture enslaved humans.
Yeah. He's like, did we domesticate wheat or did wheat domesticate us?
And so I think about that as just a broad picture analogy.
Yeah.
Where now we're kind of enslaved in, I say, I'm enslaved horribly. Life's not exactly bad, but also there's an angst and a disappointment or a FOMO or an envy or something that comes along with this, where if you have visibility over what other people are doing whilst you're in it, I should talk in the first person, I find it difficult sometimes to enjoy where I am if I have too much visibility over what other people are doing or if I'm connected to somewhere else I feel I should be.
Yeah. A skill that I'm going to try to build this year is the skill of leaving my phone behind for large chunks of a day. Or I'm going to experiment with brick. Have you ever seen that? It's like a little device. And essentially when you brick your phone, it now does nothing but phone calls, text messages, and takes photos. And until you go back to the brick and unbrick it, your phone is nothing other than essentially an emergency device and a camera, which are the two things that I think I can safely carry it around and have it not interrupt my experience of the world. And so one of the skills that I want to try to refine this year is my ability to be like, today's just a no phone day or a brick day, and just either leave it behind or brick it and then just go and live the day. But I know I'm bloody hopeless and it's going to be hard.
Well, the difficulty is we're fighting against the most refined powers of addiction that are engineered to exploit us.
100%. I can't remember who said it, but someone was like, there's 10,000 people with PhDs in neuropsychology who are working against you and they're better at it.
Anyway, it's been bloody great down here.
Yes, not too bad.